Good day, folks. Welcome to Ray J's Outdoor Adventure. This is another gear review. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Teton Sierra 16 canvas tent. This is the 16-foot footprint that goes underneath the tent, and as you can see here, we do a lot of this winter camping. I've actually had this tent now for a year, Ed and I decided to put our bread together to do this winter camp out. One takeaway from it is when you do have a wood burning tent stove, it will burn through, just the heat will burn through the plastic. As you see, we got some Gorilla Tape right here, just from the holes being burned through. So that's just something to be mindful of, but the footprint has helped us just with cleanup and everything when we're going to a site when it's real wet and muddy and things like that. So that's pretty much what the footprint looks like, and I'd suggest you ordering it if you decide to get a tent like this. Okay. All right, the other thing that you want to add if you decide to go winter camping and doing the wood burning stove is getting a silicone mat. This one's made by Fireside Outdoor. I'll have all the links in this episode, like where to get this stuff on Amazon, but it was all bought at Amazon. But this has worked out great. I mean, we've already been doing the camping with this tent and the stove, which is the Camp Chef stove, with this silicone mat, and it's worked perfect. So, on to the next thing. All right, so right now I have the tent. The tent comes with a carrying case, as you can see down here. It has elastic strapping around it to hold the tent in. And so when you assemble and reassemble it, get it like torn down, you have to fold it in threes and then fold it over, and that will get it into the case. There are two other bags that come with it. The first big tall bag has the entrance doorway frame, and then the center post for support in the middle. You can see here, this is the entrance door frame, which I'll put together once I get the tent footprinted out. And then this is the post that will go up in the center. So next step is put the tent down and go from there. One other thing I want to add, which is really nice that Teton's done with their tents, they have these really nice steel tent pegs. They're real slick. I mean, they're really strong, so they won't bend on you. And we'll see as it goes across. Once I go around the whole tent, I'll stake the whole tent down. And then there's also these stakes will also guy out the tent too. So more to come. All right, here we go. All right, step one, after you get the tent pulled out, what you want to do that has worked for me was stake out the vestibule area to come into the tent. That seems to work the best with spreading the tent out so that you don't have any uneven concave in one side when you tie it out. So here we go.
What I like to do is just kind of walk around.
So the next step, what I like to do, I'm going to put up the center pull first before I set up the vestibule. That's just what I do. It seems to work. It gives you a little slack on the front end as you're coming in, so you can get to the center of the tent. Okay, so this is the center pull for the tent. what I like to do first is kind of get it set up somewhat. And I normally keep one pole down. In this case here, let me flip it around here for a minute. This is the bottom part of the pole. So I like to get that inside the tent first and then attach this bottom part of the pole and then raise it up, so you'll see here what they get in. You're a little claustrophobic, you gotta learn how to get over it. You want this tent. Then you're ready to guy out your vestibule. So the next step after you put the center pole up, which as you can see, it kind of takes a minute to get that center pole in line and stretched out, but the next thing is the vestibule, and this is pretty easy. What I like to do is at least set it up kind of halfway just to get this little post, which goes in the center of the vestibule for the guy out. So you'll see here as I do this here. All right, so once the entrance is all set up, the little vestibule area here, you see in the picture too, this is the plastic grommet that goes over top, and what that will do, that'll prevent from water coming in, and it's nice, it kind of holds the post down. But you slide that over top, like so. And from there, is where you're going to put a tent peg down, just to get your vestibule anchored down, and then everything else from there, as far as the tent goes, you just go around and guide out. As Teton puts these together with the knots up in the front and then a loop through, so you can actually pull these together and tighten it up as you go around. It's pretty simple. Like I said, about 12 inches or so. It gives you a little bit of leeway to tighten the tent up once you get it all set up. All right, so now that I got the Teton Sierra canvas tent set up, just one thing I wanted to add. This is the 16-footer. I've had it now for a year. Like I said, my buddy and I, we pitched in together because we wanted to do a lot of winter camping. We were inspired by another group of folks that had something similar to this, and we decided to go all in and get it done. After a year's review, a couple things I want to add is that we really, put it through the test. I've left this tent out for about 3 months in the winter time, so a ton of rain, snow, the whole 9 yards. It has some staining on it, which is to be expected after a year, being that, we had leaves on it, and then I, folded it up, wiped everything down, folded it up, but it stained a little bit, but the thing has not leaked. We haven't had any problems. The only thing that we've done to modify this tent was put a stove jack in it, and we ordered that on Amazon. It's called a Unistrength stove jack, which I'll talk a little bit more in the next video, but we could do a little walk around and kind of show you what's to be expected if you actually use the thing. Staining, of course, a little bit of stains from it being folded up. Once again, I just like to create memories. I'm not looking for a showroom tent. If it works and it stays in good shape, then it's good enough for me. So we go around here, there's some staining on it. Again, that stuff can be cleaned up. But the idea is I didn't want to clean it with anything that would affect the waterproofness. So, just leaving it the way it is. there's any problems with it later on down the road, I'll deal with it. But again, just it's a great tent. I love it so far. We've had a lot of success in it. All right, so we're inside the tent right now, and a couple features to add to this, which is really nice in the summertime. You can open up these windows, they're all screened, and it creates a nice cross breeze, as you can see in here. There's also a plug area where you can bring an electric to it, and they have a bunch of little pockets all the way around. So we've camped in here. I've put the camp stove right by the entranceway, and then around here was basically the camp area, and we fit a Coleman queen bed, one of the queen bed setups in the back here, another cot right here, which would have comfortably slept, you know, 3 people with a lot of room, another little table to cook on and store coolers and things like that. But mostly winter camping, it's myself and my buddy Ed that we get in here and do like 2 cots and spread out a lot. But you could definitely add, if you're doing all camp pads, you know, just putting the pads down, you can easily fit 6 people in here. You know, couple this way, couple over here, even with the stove. But overall, I mean, this is a great tent. And the thing is, what's nice is in the winter time, you know, if you put the wood stove and you got that burning, it can easily be 80 degrees in here with no problem, and outside being, you know, 20 to 0 degrees. It stays so warm in here. This tent initially is not designed, they don't make it as a hot tent, like a wood burning stove tent, but like I said, we modified it. And what I love about Teton's gear is, first of all, the price is really reasonable and the quality is excellent. This one thing I want to add is the zippers here. You can see in here, which is really nice, is you have screens. So in the summertime, you could just screen in, zipper this up. The zippers are really good, real heavy duty, nice. You have 2 different zipper setups, so you can zipper up both the canvas piece along with the mesh screening, so no bugs will get in. So that's what I really like about it. It's just the quality and the build, and it's really easy, like you see. And I set this up by myself. Wasn't real hard. I would say, as a 1-person setup and you're taking your time, 20 minutes to a half an hour. You know, not too heavy. So it's well worth it for the first year coming into this. I think this was a good buy, and I give Teton Sports 2 thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in to Ray J's Outdoor Adventure. Please remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.